Hi everybody, welcome to yet another Toonkind at 12 frames per second. Wow, Noah, you're doing a lot of these. I guess that means I already technically introduced myself, but I'm gonna do it again. Hi, I'm Noah. That's my name. And my wonderful partner today is.
Hi, I'm hexabeast. Just hex is totally fine. And I'm here too. I've been in a lot of FPSs too. It's fine.
They're fun to do.
They are.
We're like it literally out 2.5 hours ago. I was like, hey, Hex.
You want to do a game? And I went, yes.
So, yeah. Um, would you like to start off by introducing your character, and then once you've done that, I'll introduce my character?
Yeah. So I'm going to be playing Baph, who is a rubber hose warlock goat with a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, my character doesn't really help with that. And I will be playing Goose, who is a worn goose who, in her free time, likes to goose. Um, Goose and Baph officially met in another not an FPS, or in another game called Little Shop of Terrors, which if you haven't listened to, you might be a little confused. There's nothing like spoilery. It's just that kind of establishes how they know each other. Long story short, Baph was having a problem and she hired people to help. She did not hire Goose. Goose just showed up.
And solved the problem pretty handily.
Yeah, Goose basically speed ran the entire fucking thing, cast Flameblade, and just dashed her way through it.
It was so good.
The only problems that she wants to deal with are the ones she causes. Those are the only problems that she's okay with.
That's valid.
So, I assume it's been long enough to where Baph's shop is cleaned up a little bit, no longer overgrowing. There's no longer evil clown.
No, there are no. Well, I mean, there's technically always like not an evil, but a scary clown because of her patron. But uh, that's not here nor there. There is no longer a horror box there
No longer
with
horror box
evil
with
clowns
evil
in
clown
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
No longer the evil clown box.
right, correct.
Um, and I assume that so walk me through what a usual workday looks like for Baph.
So, usually for her, right now, in the state of things, she takes stock in the mornings of what she has available. The shop is usually just kind of casually open because it's pretty far out of the city enough that it doesn't get, steady business. But between that, she's primarily in the garden pruning things back and pruning dead stuff off of all of her plants, and then trying to like take stock of what needs replaced and what she needs to just add in to fill in the space of dead things, because a lot of her garden kind of it didn't do well after horror explosion. So
Yeah, horror box does that.
yeah, it's fine though. Box is gone. It's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. And so right now, likely probably she's probably like about to return to the garden to, continue her work there, but she had taken a break to actually eat a food because she's trying to get better at that whole self-care thing.
Yes, we love to see it.
She wasn't doing very good at that at first, but she's trying to get better.
And you know what? And we love her for that.
Aww.
We do love her for that. Um, I'm going to say that Goose has decided to pay her lovely little anxiety goat friend a visit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been a while, and Goose gets bored sometimes.
That's valid.
And I'm gonna start for Goose by rolling for stealth to see if she can sneak in without Baph noticing.
Oh boy.
And well, she rolled a 17, so I'm gonna say she does.
God. Yeah, she does. Baph's not really paying attention much to what Goose is doing. She doesn't
even know Goose.
She's not paying much attention to the garden. Yeah. She's not paying attention to the garden, so.
Very, very good. I mean, not good. That's your job. And Goose kind of wanders in and ducks among the various both live and dead plants, eats a leaf or two, because that's what she does. Mm-hmm. And finally she sees her target, Baph the goat. And target acquired. And this is just how Goose is, so I'm going to give you advantage on this because it's how Goose is.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
And again, I'm giving you advantage on this because Goose is not actually trying to hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you're going to need it.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
We're going to go with that. Okay. Alright, and luckily there's no half damage thing, so you're fine. Goose just cast Thunderclap. Let me make sure I got this right. Yes, so they pull out their megaphone and everything. They kind of pull it out of their hammer space, put it on their beak, really loudly.
And Baph immediately just and then falls over.
Goose noise and goat noise.
Yep.
Goose waddles over to where Baph is, and Goose is half a Baph, so she can't really offer to help her get up, but you can tell she would otherwise.
She would if she had the means to, probably. But Baph is just laying on her back, staring up. There's a goose here. This goose looks... Oh, it's that goose, who she never got a name from because it's Goose.
Yeah, Goose's name is Goose.
Yes. And she looks up and just goes, oh, hi.
Hi.
And she stands back up and kind of dusts herself off. And her hands are shaking because, oh my god, you did that.
Yeah, she really did. So, Goose is just gonna kind of, stare at Baph. Do you want to roll insight to maybe know what the fuck Goose is trying to do?
Yes, I will roll insight, which is just a straight d20.
Ooh.
That is a 9.
Oof. You can't tell if the beady look in her eye is malice, or if it's just how she is.
Baph just very nervously, hi, can I help you with anything?
Huh? Goose is, absolutely going to waste one of her spell slots on this because she feels the need.
Okay.
And she's gonna cast Goodberry. And she waddles up closer to Baph, and then and hawks up 10 good berries on the floor at Baph's feet.
I'm gonna say Baph, recalling the last occurrence of good berries, hasn't can tell, like, oh, they're
They don't mean to
thank
hurt.
you.
They don't mean to hurt you.
And she kind of picks up the berries, and she's got full health, but she doesn't want to eat a berry that Goose just hawked up, but also Goose scares her.
They're not covered with goose like spit or anything.
Oh, okay.
Like, they look fine. There's nothing wrong with them.
Oh, okay. She picks up a berry and just kind of pops one in her mouth, even though she's got full health. Like,
Good.
thank you. I mean,
Goose does the happy bird eye squint.
She shoves the rest in her pockets, which is her hammer space. Like, I kind of had lunch already, so but thank you. Can I help you with anything? As she starts to finally pick up her clippers that she was using to prune back her plants.
Goose does not really do anything except kind of watch. Raises one wing up in the air like she's trying to raise a hand, but she doesn't have hands, so.
What? Yes? What?
Goose gestures to the front door. It makes a little nod like, you coming?
What?
Goose repeats the gesture.
Baph slowly steps away from her plants, unsure of this Goose, but
Goose,
what is it?
Up 10 good berries for you.
And demands that she eat them.
Yes. Goose loves you.
I guess. Okay. She walks back into the shop, which is actually like clean and set up to be a shop. The shop itself looks fine now. The garden is the part that's kind of a disaster. So.
All right. Okay, I gotta ask. So were they like in the back, like away, like Goose is essentially trying to get her to leave like the area, trying to get her to a secondary location.
Yes, the shop is considered a secondary location. Like, inside the shop, you cannot see back in the area that Baph originally was at.
Okay, cool. Goose turns to make sure that Baph is following, and then she walks further out of the store itself and into the street. And so they go from the back garden to the store to the street.
Yeah, and Baph is very confused, but is following still, just kind of hesitantly. Like, what? Where are we going?
It's every once in a while Goose will just turn around to like tilt her head to make sure that Baph is following, and then continue on her way.
And Baph is gonna keep following Goose, and it's gotten to the point where she's now just idly like occasionally munching a good berry every time, like every couple of times, just like because she's interpreting this as Goose is making sure she's following and eating. So every time Goose looks back, she like pulls out a good berry to eat it.
Yes, that's very good. If you want to give yourself the bonus HP, I guess.
Yeah, I can.
So, Goose, you get 10 of them. So there's that.
God, that brings Baph up to 52 health!
Yay! She needs it.
Oh, no. She does, but...
I don't think she's gonna need it today, hopefully. But still.
No, but she's a warlock. She needs every bit of hit points she can get.
Exactly. They're very squishy. If you'd like to, you can roll either, I'm gonna leave it. You can roll either nature or survival, because Goose is leading you into the forest that is not too terribly far away from where y'all are at.
Okay. That's gonna be nature then, because Baph actually has a bonus to that. Not much, but not enough.
That's a 3. Those are definitely some trees out there. That's
That's
you think that's a bush. It could be a shrub. Is there a difference? You don't know.
is there a I don't no, like she runs a garden slash apothecary, but like she has lots of reference books to help her with this stuff. Like
Exactly. This is all just wild nature.
yeah, exactly. She's trusting Goose the druid to help her through this.
Yeah. And after what feels like not too terribly long of a walk, like, I mean, you're no longer in sight of any buildings, so there's no sign of Toon invasion. It's just nature as far as the eye can see, assuming that you have good vision.
Yes, yes.
And then Goose takes you to a small clearing. There is an old stump on one of the edges that is perfectly goose shaped. It doesn't look like a goose, but it's like perfectly shaped to where Goose can sit comfortably on it.
Oh.
Which Goose does. Tilts her head again to look at you, Baph. Huh?
What is this where you live? She's looking around the clearing curiously, like
Goose nods. If you want to roll investigation or perception or whatever, you can.
she's absolutely going to because this is new. Let's see. Wow, Baph, you have
Oh, you're
well,
fine.
okay, that's a dirty 20. Okay.
And then what
yeah.
specifically did you roll? Like, just to know.
I rolled investigation.
Okay, cool. I assume you're searching for any signs of how a Toon might live here.
Yeah, she's kind of taking it, like, she's kind of trying to figure out, like, this is Goose's place, but, like, how do you exist out here?
So what Goose has is, well, there's obviously the stump that I already pointed out because Goose is sitting on there, and it's as you're looking around the clearing that you notice that there are other signs of like lived in places. Like there's another the way that a couple branches are formatted makes a really nice shady spot. You can tell that there's slightly softer grass in this one area that makes a good bedding. There's a little hut where she probably keeps like food stuff, like non-perishable foods.
Aww.
And then there's a chest, tiny little chest. I mean, it's not tiny, but it's like it's the only well, I say man-made, but the only reasonably made by somebody object in the clearing. As in, like, it's clearly crafted. Everything else is like clearly like Goose made this.
Gotcha. Okay. And Baph is kind of taking all of this in and just kind of nodding to herself like, yep, this all makes sense. This is what I would expect a Toon like Goose to have, as odd as this is. But she kind of turns back to Goose and is just like, so is there a particular reason we came here instead of? And then, like, mid-thought, like, mid-sentence, she pauses, because she realizes immediately why. But why you brought me here instead of back at civilization? Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She realizes exactly what she was saying as she said it, and now feels very dumb.
Goose,
right.
Goose, like, blinks big as you make the connection. And I didn't quite state it, but I'm gonna state it anyway. Despite the fact that this is obviously, like, you're in the middle of nature and all sorts of stuff, it's actually quite cozy. Like, even a Toon not like Goose, unless you were really spoiled brat, could probably live really comfortably and really nicely in this area.
Okay. Okay.
So it's not like a damn bitch you live like this situation. It's like a well this is definitely a little odd of a housing thing, especially considering you paid Goose, and Goose presumably has odd jobs that gets her money enough to like own an actual house.
Yeah. But this is Goose's life choice, and so Baph is gonna kind of look around for a moment and then just deciding near the stump is fine. She's gonna take a seat and like fish the last of her good berries out and pop it in her mouth.
Goose nods, looks up at the sky. It's a relatively clear day. There are a few really puffy clouds floating by. All in all, it's a very relaxing, peaceful situation.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes no sense compared to the chaos that you know Goose to be.
That's like I was just gonna say, Goose, do you want to roll insight on Baph right now?
Yeah, I think yeah, I think she will. 14.
14. That's actually gonna be probably enough. Because Baph is a pretty open book. Baph had been pretty like tense the whole time, like following Goose and unsure of like what is this Goose going to like
what
rain upon me.
What are you going to do? What is this Goose going to do to you?
What is this Goose gonna do to me? What is, like...
Nuh-uh, you ain't getting me no secondary location, sister. Except she did.
Oh, no. Baph is like, she's taking me to a secondary location. What is gonna happen? She's, like, resigned to this fate. But then when nothing happens, she starts to, like, genuinely kind of relax. And, like, there was an odd, like, a very, like, clear tension even before Goose goosed at her. And... it's starting to kind of bleed away.
Mm-hmm.
So, just being away from the shop apparently is like calming her down a little.
Yeah. And, technically speaking, Goose doesn't have message because that's not a cantrip that, like, druids can learn, which I think is bullshit. In my completely honest opinion, but fuck the rules. She to cast message anyway because that's how she talks.
Hell yeah.
And she looks in your direction, she twists her head to look at you, and you hear, whatever you assume Goose would sound like, in the back, in your head, and she's just like, it's nice here, isn't it?
And Baph has that, and then, yeah, it's really calm and peaceful, yeah.
No concrete jungle, no dirty smog in the air.
Yeah, it's really, it's peaceful. It's yeah. She just kind of awkwardly, like, messes with her hands.
Why was there an evil clown box?
Like,
she just asked that randomly. She's like, why was there an evil clown box?
Well, we didn't mean to have it. She starts to fidget again more, because now we're getting into the scenario that led up to that other game.
And I'm gonna once again roll insight specifically to like pick up. Oh, it's a nat 1.
Oh, that's a nat 1. Well, good thing Baph is gonna mostly tell the truth. So
mostly.
She she says, Wendy and I, we were we were gonna hang out, and a person, and this is where she doesn't sound sure at all. Like, she doesn't know who slammed into her, but a person slammed into her, and they swapped backpacks by mistake. And that backpack had the evil clown box in it. And it was... I couldn't let that stay around other people. I thought it would be okay with me.
Goose just looks at you. You get the feeling she's judging you.
Baph feels very judged. She's kind of leaning back and has that... look, I thought if we buried it and like kept it, because concrete is a good insulator, I thought it wouldn't do its weird effects everywhere, because it just did psychic, like it just kind of messed with your head. I didn't think it would go for the plants like that, and that one just very, very like withers under Goose's stare. Feels very chagrined.
Goose continues looking, and then you hear in your head again, you hear a message. Psychic damage works on plants, Plants have souls. And she kind of like pecks, well, not really pecks, just more like she just kind of like gestures to the stump that she's sitting on. She goes, "This tree is older than the Jisnep kingdom itself." Well, was. It saw a lot of things that even I can't possibly know about. And then it was cut down. Plants feel things. Did you know that?
Baph kind of she's feeling very very not okay right now. But she kind of I mean, I guess I don't is, and she has a pause, and she's, is it different here in Inkwell than on other continents? Like, do they feel different? Like, because Baph was not originally from Inkwell. She came here recently, so this is all kind of new. So she's...
I don't know.
Are the plants here different? But, yeah.
I don't know. I've never been to other places.
Oh. Oh.
Have you?
Yeah, I grew up, I didn't plan for that part, heck. I grew up on the other, outside of Inkwell, among a lot of real kind. And Goose can totally roll insight on that, too.
Yeah, let's hope that she does better than a nat 1.
Yeah.
No, she didn't.
Oh, Goose, baby!
I jinxed it. And I rolled a nat 1.
Like, even with that utter fail, I'm gonna still say you can, like, Goose can tell that, like, talking about that makes Baph really uncomfortable.
Oof. Good to know. Good to know. Goose looks at you, and she says, "Should I get more good berries?"
Wha-
Don't worry, I got
what?
this. Don't worry, I got this. Like her calming demeanor has stopped, and she's cast yet another round of good berries. Goes, huh, huh, huh. 10 more good berries pop up on the ground.
Beth has that awkward look because it's still weird. Yes, it's happened multiple times, but it's still alarming to see. But
Yeah.
she's, I thank you. I think I'm okay, but thank you. She still takes one,
Just in case.
just in case.
Just in case.
She leaves the other pile like between them, but she takes one.
Goose will peck at one, so now she gets a singular HP point. Yay.
Fantastic.
They're both at like above full health at this point, but you know,
Yes.
better safe than sorry.
You never know. Like the Tarask could just come stomping through. It's fine.
Exactly. And Goose, I mean, even with the nat one, Goose can tell that it's probably not a good idea to keep poking at stuff. So she just kind of like, you know when birds do the thing where their neck kind of like moves into their body, that goes squish in?
Yes.
Does that.
Yes.
Does the happy bird eye blink.
Aww.
Um,
Aww.
And I feel like they just sit there for a good while. This isn't the end of the FPS, by the way. This is just them chilling. Is Goose asleep?
Yeah.
Is Goose awake? You can't tell. I'm not even going to let you roll insight for that because you can't tell.
Goose is just hanging out, and Baph is Baph kind of after like a bit starts to kind of glance back where she thinks they can actually let me do a quick
Roll survival.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a 16 survival. So she probably would be able to find her way back. She kind of glances back there, but she makes no move to get up. She's like, Goose has invited her here and clearly wanted to talk about things. So she's being polite and
Not leaving.
is not leaving right now. Goose could have effectively kidnapped her and kept her here just by, the trappings of polite society.
Social normaties. God.
But it's fine. Baph is really content to like just
chill.
sit and be among nature, and eventually she kind of flops back into the grass and is just like
the grass
resting.
is so soft. The grass is so soft. The grass is so soft.
How did the grass get this soft here? Baph doesn't know, but she's content to just lay here.
Did she ask how the grass is so soft?
I think she would actually comment on, wow, she would actually say, this grass feels so much different than the grass around the shop.
Of course it does. There's no pollution here. Well, not as much.
Baph blinks at that a bit and that can affect the grass?
And love.
Oh, she actually nods like, yeah, oh, okay. Love makes sense. Pollution is still new.
And Goose kind of continues, and she's like I said, plants have souls. Plants feel pain, but plants also feel joy and happiness. Plants feel sadness. Plants feel anger. They just can't express it the same way we do.
Baph actually seems to have kind of an epiphany at that. Like, it's just not in a way we can understand it.
Mm-hmm. I was lucky enough to learn message. Plants can't. They have to wait for someone to ask them.
Huh. She looks very ponderous. And then, because this question has been needling in the back of her mind, says, "Is pruning all of the stuff on in the garden, in my garden, like the dead and the, all of that, is that bad for like, does that
No.
hurt? No. Oh, oh,
You said they're
she.
already dead.
Okay.
Nature
She
continues
feels a little
on.
bit relieved at that. Just
And she gestures to the stump that she's sitting on, and she says again. She's like, "This tree has been dead for a very long time. It doesn't feel when I sit on it. It doesn't feel when lightning strikes upon it, or when I pretend, or when I practice. So I don't
practice.
fighting, ice knife.
Oh. Oh. She does not. She does not push. She lets Goose continue after that.
Yeah, it's like I mean it's pretty self-explanatory. That's her target practice, and also her favorite
Yep.
seat.
Yep.
But and it still has its uses. Like I said, things die, plants die, people die, animals die. And she just leaves it at that.
Baph. Baph just kind of nods slowly and has a. She kind of thinks for a second, and then sits up and turns to face Goose proper,
Mm-hmm.
and she says, "If I had known what that box would have done, I wouldn't have buried it like I did."
You can't change the past,
No, no, you can't.
but you can prevent the future. I can't bring this tree back to life. I can't make it grow again. But I can plant seeds for the new ones. And I can prevent them from cutting down more trees.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do.
Oh.
I keep them from cutting down more trees. I keep them from scaring away animals. I keep them from burying more evil clown boxes.
I, um. Beth looks properly just. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I, I don't plan to do that again.
I know.
Even with. Yeah.
If you did, we'd have problems.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have a roll intimidation for that because it was a very, very subtle threat, but oh shit. But it was a threat
Oh,
nonetheless.
that was a threat, and Beth definitely perceives it as a threat. Just, yeah, I figured. Uh, Baph is now very nervous about angering this goose any further, even just by her shop existing.
Have you ever asked how your plants felt?
Um, I I mean, I talked to them, but like I've I've never I I don't I mean, I guess no.
Hmm.
I don't know how.
Oh, I do. And Goose stands up from her little stump. And says, "Come on."
What oh, right now?
And they're walking back to civilization.
Yep. Baph is now suddenly very nervous
And I mean,
in that. Oh, go ahead.
it's not like a super scary thing. Goose has stopped messaging. Goose is
Hmm.
becoming more cryptic again now that they're closer to civilization. Um, and I assume that they get back to to Bath's shop relatively about the
Yeah,
same pace that they went away from it.
yeah. Okay.
They get to the back garden and Goose just stands.
Baph awkwardly is standing next to her, like waiting, like wondering what she's gonna do because she had indicated she knew what to do. Uh,
And Goose um Goose casts speak with plants,
okay.
and she gestures to plant of your choice um, for Baph to start talking.
Baph kind of feeling very awkward and very nervous because now she's suddenly like, it's that nervous of, oh god, what if they just start shit talking me to this terrifying goose? But she she still kind of walks up to this heck.
I should probably
I had all
specify.
of
I should probably specify. Goose didn't cast speak to plants on herself.
she cast it on Baph.
Yes, so now Baph can
Yeah.
talk.
Okay. And
Which I don't know if you can actually technically do this, but this is Zen Goose, and I do what I want.
Zen Goose is valid, and right now, like, it's better than Goose having to play middleman to all of these. But Baph is going to walk up to, like, an azalea bush that's not in bloom anymore. Oh, excuse me. She had to prune a fair bit of it back just because of all of the, of all of the horror vines going through them.
Mm-hmm.
But she awkwardly is just like, I. And she looks back to Goose in it, like, and
Goose
then
tilts her head.
back to the bush. Yep. Back to the bush and just, I don't really know how to. This is weird now that I think this is just kind of weird, but, this, it wasn't weird this morning when I was trying to figure out what was and wasn't okay on you, and she's like messing with some of the leaves and like very carefully like looking through to see if there's any more dead growth on the plant. And she has that like I'm she kind of like blinks a moment and then I guess I really am sorry about all of this happening to you. And she's talking to the plant.
Mm-hmm.
I I didn't know what would happen. But I hope you can bounce back from all of this. Uh
You take good care of us.
Baph nearly falls over in surprise. She has a she's staring at this bush wide-eyed and
Question: does Baph sing?
a little, yes, she does.
You have a pretty singing voice.
And she covers her mouth with both hands, and says,
I like it when you tell us stories.
"Oh, I, oh wow, that's really good to hear, actually.
Another nearby bush says, "You're really pretty."
Oh, Baph can't, she's pure black and white, but she her little muzzle gets little hatchings of black and white across it to indicate that she's blushing. And she started out looking really nervous, and now she's starting to look really, really bashful and just, wow.
It's at that point that a bunch of the other plants start. Any plants within 30 feet of you, they're all starting to chime in now, and they're just saying various compliments, like you have a really pretty singing voice, and you always pick out the best fertilizer for us, and I like it when you do this, and you're really pretty and stuff like that. And it's just this chiming of various compliments, and also underneath it all, not too subtle to the point of where you wouldn't pick it up, but it's there. There's that sort of "we forgive you" vibe to it.
Oh no. Okay, so Baph is tearing up. She doesn't start crying, but it is very clear that she is on the verge of tears, and she slowly turns to Goose, and both hands are one hand is over her chest and the other is over her mouth, and she's just completely overwhelmed with just all of everything she's hearing right now.
Goose doesn't know what's being said, by the way. She can only hear what Baph is responding to, because she didn't cast it on herself. And Goose comes waddling up to Baph and kind of rubs her head against her side, Baph's side.
Baph, she just says, they like me.
Huh?
Wow, I didn't think that, oh wow. And she actually does kind of start to cry a little bit now. And she kind of looks back down at Goose and is just, thank you.
Goose nods.
Oh. Baph is gonna, she doesn't know quite how to hug a goose, but she's gonna try to hug a goose.
Roll to hug the goose. Straight D20. Oh! You rolled a nat fucking 1 on hugging the goose. So you
Baph does not know how to hug the goose.
You stop because you're uncertain how to do this. Do you just hug her around the neck? Do you pick her up? What's going on with this? So
yeah, if I pick her up, will she peck me?
Yeah, it's and also you're crying, so you can't really see that well.
Yep.
And what Goose is gonna do in response is she sees that you're struggling, and she just kind of sits at your feet, does the whole bird orb thing.
Aww. Is that for player knowledge? Is that for her to pick up the goose and hug? Or
Yes.
is that just for her to like, okay. So Baph is going to like pick Goose up and hug her, and she doesn't squeeze her, but she does hug her really, really tightly because
Yeah.
like she sniffs, trying very hard to not like sniffle into her feathers. And
You get the feeling that if Goose had arms, she'd hug you back.
yeah, and
I think that
Baph
is kind of where I want to leave it off.
okay.
Unless you had something else you wanted to add.
Baph was just gonna like hug her really tightly and just say, "This means so much to me. Thank you." And that was all that she was gonna say after that.
I think that's a good place to leave off, don't you?
I agree. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry it wasn't chaos incarnate, but sometimes we all need a little Zen Goose in our life.
I am so happy for Zen Goose. Look, we got our chaos by the greeting thunderclap.
Yes.
And
And that's all you needed.
that's all we needed. It's Goose was just reminding us that she can and will be chaotic at any moment.
Yes. Same thing with that dirty 20 threat.
Yes, exactly. Baph is both terrified and in awe of Goose.
As she should be.
I was gonna say, she should be.
Alright, I'm gonna end the recording now.
Yes.
If you want to say bye or anything else you want to add on.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. This was super fun.
It was very cute. Bye.